Hi, good afternoon. How are you all? I am Kamaksha Musmaru. Today in this videocast, I'm going to show you how to deal with a particular interesting aspect called CRUD operations inside Django. CRUD stands for Create, Retrieve, Update, and Delete. There are so many videos online related to CRUD, but even then, I decided to do one because I do have to work for my students, especially for certain my personal video, I mean training sessions. I do these activities in order to upgrade myself and also ensure some right content to my students and scholars. Here I already have one with me. Let me. So if you the video cast, I mean today's session is already there in one of my GitHub repositories. It is Django CRUD, something like this. Okay, the whole code is available from here. So what is this Django CRUD? It is actually a small application. CRUD operations are inherent in most of the web applications. So it is inevitable, like unless it is an interactive application exclusively related to a domain of data science and analytics or blockchains and all, we don't need, but most of the enterprise solutions, this wherever you have the opportunity to provide registration services to the users, students, or your stakeholders, usually whenever we develop an enterprise level solution, it is so natural that we provide some user authentication. So user can be anything, like a customer, a supplier, a student. It can be anything, right? So wherever we have the the scope for authentication, there usually arises a necessity for CRUD. So as I said, the CRUD stands for the Create, Retrieve, Update, and Delete. And in this video, I'm just going to show you very quickly, but I'm sure it is going to be a big video because I have to. I'll see that I try my level best to keep the video as short as possible. Okay, so this is actually I just created. So assume that the whoever watching this video knows fundamentals of Django. So what I did is actually in my file system I created a folder with the name Django CRUD, and then I opened that folder inside Code VS. I mean VS Code. I'm using VS Code for this tutorial. You can use anything, like you can use Sublime or you can use Atom. I like Atom. So I just opened that folder in my VS Code and also a terminal. If you see the bottom of the VS Code, I have the terminal. I already installed pipenv, that is in my base computer. So if I use pipenv shell, okay, it is just going to create a virtual environment inside this folder. Okay, so you see that pip file has been, you'll see pip file here, which means the virtual environment have been created and also activated. Now I need a couple of so I need to, irrespective of my base Django installation, I mean Django copy library or package inside my base computer, I do have to install that inside this virtual environment. So how can I do that? So I'm using pipenv install Django. And apart from this, I also need one package known as Django crispy forms, because this CRUD application needs forms to handle the user data. So just upper arrow, and then I can just Django crispy forms. That's it. I just just two packages. One is Django because the base framework is Django, and I want crispy packages to. And now now it is time to create the project. Since I installed the Django admin, create start project, start start project CRUD. So let me see. Yeah, it's created. I was suspicious if I can. Now cd CRUD. I just go inside. You see, I should go to the place where from here I have to do anything and everything. Okay, here if I expand this, I do have the CRUD. This is actually the root application, though it is a project. But I mean, project is this folder, main folder, where the folder together with pip file and pip log file. So this is a project, and inside project, Django automatically creates a base or root application. Application in which you have. So here, since I created, I installed Django Crispy Forms. I think let me take here to the documentation. I think Crispy Forms. So I have to update Crispy Forms under installed apps. So Django Crispy Forms. Enough. I think the very first link should be enough for us to. I think after we install this, and yeah, Crispy Forms. I'm right, but sometimes I do mistakes. It is, I thought, so I just since we installed Crispy Forms together with Django, we don't need to update here because Django is the base package, but Crispy Forms is not the base package. It is an add-on, so we need to update that here. And apart from that, there is one more thing which we need to do. This one. So Crispy template pack. I'm going to use a template bundle called Bootstrap, okay, and 4. I don't think 5 is Crispy Forms doesn't work with Bootstrap 5. I don't know. You just check. Earlier I tried, but I failed. So I want to keep myself safe. And then that's it. We can just start using the Crispy Forms. By the way, why Crispy Forms? It is just a special package which is useful for us to decorate our forms, something like that. Okay. So instead of taking care of the forms manually, it is. So now I'm going to create an application which is called app. Okay. I am in the folder where there is file called manage.py, right? Python manage.py start app. Shall I say CRUD is already, I cannot use that name. So user registration, so something like that. Now if you see here, there is a package installed. This is add-on package, and this is root application. This is add-on, application at top of the CRUD is the root application, and user registration is an app which will act adjacent to the root CRUD application. I don't know if I can call root application or not. Both of them are applications, but so since I install an application or I create an application, I have to update name of this application, user registration. Otherwise, that application will not work. Now, this is actually the procedure. So these are all actually the fundamentals of Django. So I expect all of you to know the fundamentals. I'm not. So once the installation is done, setup is done. So we are good to do with Django. We are also good to go ahead with. So I'm going to use this user registration for a small CRUD application. I call it as user registration. Okay, I'm just going to implement this CRUD operations, create, retrieve, update, delete operations on users. So it may be student registration to you, it may be supplier registration, it may be customer registration to you, it may be, I don't know, kind of, user is an entity in my application. So I don't know what is you only know your entity in your application. Okay. And now, okay, fine. And then at this point in time, yeah, let's check. I'm in the same folder where there is something called manage.py. I can simply do like this: manage.py run server. But it's better to make the migrations before. So I'm just going to open see if your browser look like this. When you go to this URL, if your browser look like this, Django is Django, I mean your application is, your project is good. I mean you are okay with your project and everything is working fine. However, that is not actually the advisable. I cannot just start using this. If you look at here, there is a database file db.sqlite3. In this application, in this project, I am going to use SQLite3. Maybe in future I will show you how to use other database applications like Postgre, MySQL, something like that. But this is just only a tutorial, so I don't like to be serious about my base database software. So SQLite3 is okay, fine. Now what we need to do is Python manage.py make migrations. What this does is that make migrations. What happened? Yeah, migrations. No changes detected, and then migrate. Now it is going to create a hell lot of tables. Okay, so that's actually a good practice, because until if you don't do these two steps and your project is not fully operational, now you got everything perfect to go ahead. Now let's come to the base, the core idea, that is CRUD. So my approach is going to be like this. So everything starts from the model, okay, right? So I'm going to define a model. So where do I need to define that model? In my user application, which is user registration. So here what I need to do is that there is a file called models.py. I'll just go and quickly create because this I don't want to make my tutorial lengthy. Class user, you can call anything, whatever it is, okay, models and model, and I'm going to create a user with name, just three properties, that's all. I mean three fields. Models dot char field, and then max length is going to be some 50. It can be 100 for you, I don't know. And then password is not a good field for this tutorial, but anyway I'll just go ahead. Models, I'll go for char field, and then max length is going to be 50 again. I don't need 50 for it, I just need some 10, that is sufficient, or maybe 15, that's sufficient. Now I want to go for date of birth, okay, I call it as DOB, and then models date field, okay, and then null true. So it is not a mandatory thing, I just want to give an option to the users. They don't need to that is why null is equal to true or something. We can even add this field later. Okay, I just want to str method, update str method to my, because as and when I make queries, I want to see some one of the fields must represent the whole model. So here this str self, and then return str string self, and then name. So that is what I want to see. Okay, now my model is over. Now I thoroughly go to the forms.py, otherwise I can just go to this user registration. I can create a forms.py from Django, import forms, and now class user registration form, okay, and now forms dot, I don't know, model forms, model form, I think model form, and then class meta, and this meta is going to have model, the form, the model which this form requires, or the model this form is going to manipulate, something like that. User, and where is this user? I need to take that from models import user, okay. Now fields, I better write name, that's good practice, password, and then DOB, okay. And here is the magic, widgets is equal to Now what I need to do is that name I don't want anything, but password I need to take care of this. Okay, password forms. What is the for password input? Yes, correct. So here I have to, I think a render value. I don't know, kind of. I think required render value. Yes, correct. Render value. Render value. I'll tell you why I'm writing this is equal to true, and that's it. Yeah. Another thing is DOB. This is a date field. Okay. So I need to take care of date input. That's all. So yeah, that's it. I don't need to do. Usually here we update. We take care of the attributes. Like suppose if I want to give some bootstrap attribute to my forms, because this class is going to handle the form in my project or application. So usually we manipulate the attributes. We manipulate the forms with the help of attributes, and those attributes must be defined here, just like this attribute, just like this att like that. Okay, here I can just come and so for my application this is not going to be a serious big application, so I don't want to. So my form is over here. I think that's all for form. Now what I need to do, yes, I'm just going to take care of this. So Django, actually it is of the framework, the whole architecture for Django is like model template. It's not view, model view template, MVT. Okay, Angular we call it as like model view control, but here I still feel model view control, but people talk even in official documentation Django it was written something like model view template, something like that. So my model is over, and the views I'm just going to take care of it, and templates. Yeah, now right now I'm going to user registration. I create a folder, I call it as templates, and in templates I create one more user registration. This is also a folder, and there I'm going to create my base, first one, base.html, and I will also create one more template, home.html. okay, and now these templates must be handled through the views, okay, and URLs. So URLs, I'll come back to this. First let me create the views, and first let me take care of this templates, HTML5. I would like to use bootstrap. Okay, let me go to the bootstrap CDN. So I think I should be having that here. Don't I have? Yeah, here, this one. This is CSS. I would like to use bootstrap in my application, and for JavaScript, so here. And apart from that, I am going to handle the template inheritance, okay, with blocks, Jinja block. I'm going to do something with Jinja block, and then end block, okay, end block. So what is this block? So whatever I am just this is going to be the base template, and this block is actually a plugin kind of thing, like I can create suppose I have another template home, so I can just take all the content from the home and keep in between these two lines, and that's just going to act like kind of, I don't know, a component or an ingredient of. So this is the base, and my this base. Okay, now I also would like to do something of font awesome. I do right now font awesome CDN. Let me go to copy this and then come here, paste. So I think this is sufficient. Font awesome. If time permits, I use font awesome. Otherwise, I don't use font awesome here. I do one thing here. I can go for a div container, because already our bootstrap is in action. So I can start using the bootstrap control here, Control Shift F. Okay. So this container is a bootstrap class. So I already have the bootstrap in my code. So I can just start using this. Now go to the home. So here the inheritance, Jinja inheritance. Okay. Extends user registration. By the way, if you don't know all these things, I'm extremely sorry. These are all fundamentals. There are thousands of videos online as how to set up a project, how to create an application app, and how to set up all this the formatting of the templates. Everything is very clearly. So this is actually the fundamental thing. I don't want to go in detail. I'm trying to do justice as much as possible from my level or capacity. But if I'm confusing, if I'm still confusing, I'm extremely sorry for that. Now base.html. This is called inheritance. Okay. And now there is one more thing, that is I don't want crispy fonts here. Yeah, I'll come back to that later. Block. This is what is the block. Okay. Content. You can write it as home. Doesn't matter. Okay. End block. Okay, here what I do, p tag, because div is already there, p tag, and this is a home page, something like that. Just don't worry for this. Okay, so let me see how does this. And I have this template, right? To handle this template, I need a view. Okay, the views, I have to come to the file views.py, def home request. These are all fundamentals. So what is this request and all blah blah blah. These are all fundamentals. Return, render, and then request. That is the protocol. So I have to. So this is HTTP request, HTTP response. Request response is so common in kind of. Okay, now user registration home.html. Okay, save. Now what is this user registration? This is nothing but this folder. Okay, inside templates I have user registration. Why? Because I can organize my templates by. So this is actually the application with the name user registration. That's why I created a folder user registration, and I can also create another folder if required or as by necessity. Now since I created a view, so my model is over, my template is over, my view is over, but I need to handle these routes. Okay, I need to handle all these templates, views and all with the help of routes. And what I do is that I copy this and I urls.py and I copy that file, because that file is not there in my app. Paste it, and here this nonsense, I don't want this. That is a beautiful documentation, by the way. And now here what I do is, in my base project URLs, I include my app URLs. Okay, path, empty URL pattern. So if I want to keep my URL pattern empty, which is also called as a route. I want to keep my route empty. Now from user registration, import URLs as user URLs. Okay, now what include user URLs. So this is the project level urls.py. Now I should come to the app level urls.py. I don't want this admin. I also don't want this admin. And now here, okay, I don't want this admin. And then come here, I keep it as, I don't want home. Okay, I just keep it as from, I don't know, here import views. Okay, and now for this empty URL pattern, views.home. Now name always better, because we need to, it's a good habit of naming the URL patterns, because these names are quite useful while putting links. And I mean these names are useful for hyperreference, href, links kind of. Home. Okay, now I think everything is okay. So URLs, so when I open the website, this will take us to user URLs. And what is there in user URLs? We've got one view, and this view is going to handle this template, home template, and home template is a mere extension from this. It extends the base or something like that. Okay, now let me start my server. I think I need to make migrations because I created a model user dot. So in order to make it migrate, so my migrations are over, which means I created all models ready for and now I can start run server. Now at this point in time, if I go to you see, this is home page. Now here is the okay. So my design is going to be like this. And my CRUD I would like to design my CRUD application using the tabs and pills of tabs. I just take the material from Bootstrap, tabs in Bootstrap. Okay, and then I like this one. This one looks good to me, so I copy this. Okay, now where do I want to keep this? Okay, so before going to keep this, what I would like to do is I want to create a couple of routes for add users. Okay, request, and then pass def update users, request, pass, and then def delete users, request, pass. And then I also would like to have a kind of feature called approve. Okay, approval. So I want to approve after adding. Immediately I want to call it as authenticate request. Okay, that I didn't add, I think. So let me go back to my models. I think I didn't add that. So apart from the CRUD, I also would like to handle a particular task called authentication. So as and when a user registers, so I would like to provide a feature to the administrator to authenticate it. So only authenticated users are something like that. So is authenticated is equal to models. I think this date field I don't want to. Okay, null true. Okay, models boolean field, and null is equal to true. So it doesn't matter. Null is equal to true. So this authenticated feature, I don't want to provide that in the form. See, please be cautious. DOB is there, but is authenticated is actually, it is for the admin purpose. It's not a user activity. We don't need to show that to the users while during registration. We don't need to show is authenticated. That's foolish design. So it is for the admin purpose. So this admin have to take care of this. So I don't know why. Where am I? Yeah, it is called authenticate. Correct. Okay, fine. Now add. So for add, what I need to do is that I should use the form, right? But I have copied the tabs. I want to use in the home. Yeah, I would like to use it in the home. So but so before going to use this, I just do one thing. Now row and div call sn2. Okay, and then div call SM10. So here I use the nav bar, and here I'll just use maybe I can just use a code and class code. That's it. I use home page, and here what I do is that this is just a design, like this is not related to CRUD. Actually, I'm just designing my website. I want to provide a home button here, a button for home, and then a button for adding the people, user registration, add users, something like that, and then show. So I want to see the people as in the form of a list. So these three is sufficient, and I don't need this. I don't know if I need. I'll come back here and save. If I go back to my home, you see here I got home and all everything. The row, I want to give a margin of 5. Let's see. Yeah, this looks good. Home, add, show. So home, it is just a home page, and add, here I want to provide the form. So when users go to the add button, when they press on this button, and I want to put form for them. And now for that, what I need to do, I just have to go to the views and then come to the add. And here for the add, if request, this is just a biotic kind of method. That is how Django works. Post, if a post request, and then form, shall I, let me import the models from models, import user, and then from forms import user reg form. And then come here, create the form. Form is equal to user reg form, and then request post. Again, these are all fundamentals. You have to know. This is not the form actually. Can I say form? Can I say this as form? If form is valid, again these are all fundamentals. Form save. So I'm just going to save. So what is this? What this is going to do is, it's just going to create a form instance of this class user reg form, and this form will be saved with the post data. If somebody is posting data, the data will be rendered inside this, rendered into this object called form. So this class user reg form, and then that form will be subsequently that form will be saved. And now else, if that is not going to be the case, then just make the form. If there is a get request, this is just going to have the form. And then so why this line? Because after I fill the form, I just want to make the form I'll delete this instead of let me check now. Else user, and then I have to give return render, and then request user. I'll just copy from here. I don't know, copy, and then and here this is going to be show add form, and here what happens, since we have an object form, we need to pass that form to the there are different ways to do this, but I am just going to do it in a CRUD fashion. So I'm going to pass that form to this template. Now where is the template? I have to create the template, add.html, and then I go to the home. It is just going to be something like this, or I can save everything, copy everything, and then from here till here. Now what I need to do, I need to take a, since I'm going to provide the form in this template, I have to, I was talking about crispy forms, right? Crispy forms in Django. I need to provide a kind of a sort of in template there is this one, load crispy forms tab, crispy forms tags. I don't remember all these things, that's why I'm copying. Now here comes the form. Okay, form. Okay, method equal to post, and then comes here CRF token, CS or F token, and then comes the form crispy. Okay, you just you just once check what's going to happen if you don't provide crispy here. Okay, first let me button, and this button has a class of btn, that's enough, and then submit. Okay, and I would like to give a p of 2. Okay, I think that's enough. I don't know. Okay, let's see. So my view is going to be this one, add. Yeah, I have to create the, okay, I copy this. I don't know. Add, I call add, and this is going to be add, and name is also add. Okay, and now this add is going to be where we have to provide that in the base. In base, not in base, I think in home. Did I put it in home? I'm sorry, no, I'm extremely sorry, this is not in the home. This should be in the base itself. Yeah, this should be in the base. Yes, sorry, there is a mistake. This nav bar should be in the base. Let me, I disturbed a lot. Oh, think save. Something went wrong. Home. Yeah, in home, in base, if it is home, then I should go to the, I should go to the home. Okay, wait a minute, URL home. Okay, let me see. I don't know what's wrong with this. This is going down actually. Okay, let me keep this back. I'm sorry for confusing all of you. Okay. Oh, this is going to be base. I think some rows and all I disturbed with row. This is column. I think this is going to be the column. This should go inside. This is all right, and this is div. Yeah, here it should come. Okay, fine. Now call SM10. Hey, come on. What happened? Here it should come. Okay, this container is not required. What is this div? This is for this. I think something is going on here. Is it clear now? Yeah, it is clear now. Yeah. Now I think it should work. Inside row there are columns. Now in home we don't want this. This should be container. I think we don't even need this one. I'm just simply doing something. So this kind of confusions do exist. Okay, now yes, see home. This is what I was trying to do. I think this is going far away. It's okay, fine, doesn't matter. Like, I don't want to take care of the view. I mean, appearance and decoration, that's a different thing. Like, I still can do better, but that is not the focus of the tutorial. So I'll just now where am I think I am on add, right? So if I go to the add, yeah, I have to provide that in the base. In base, what here I created the URL pattern, URL add. Now when I press this, and this should take me to the add is here. It's just going to take me to the container card, I think card. Okay, I'll put this form inside that card so that it looks good. Now save, add. Okay, didn't return HTML. Yeah, it returned none instead. That is because views add request user registration add from form. Is post user is a reg form request to post a form is valid form save. I don't know where is the problem. Return none instead. It usually happens whenever we why this is happening. Okay, let me add HTML. So here instead of this I'll come back. So this is the add page. So first let me check if the signal is coming here or not. Didn't return HTML response. Why? What is the problem? Form is not defined. What form is not defined? Okay. Yes, add page and show now let me work from here. If request method is equal to post, and then what use form is going to be user reg form request post material. I mean all the material that we just, if form is valid, then form save. It used that base model for saving that. Else form is going to be user registration form reg form. That's it. And now here the context is going to be form. We are going to pass that form, pass or pass, whatever it is. So now it should work. Add request and base. So base, right? Add. This is going to kick. Let me see why this is not coming. He is authenticated to the user. Okay, fine. I didn't update make migrations after. Okay, run, but that can be a problem. This form is not coming. Why? URLs add, view add. Views add, views I got add here. Request. What is the problem? Add I got. Okay, my goodness. I don't have the form here. Sometimes it happens. Method post. Shit. CSRF token. I thought I deleted this. I forgot that. Form crispy. And then button. Class btn submit. Okay, let's see. Yes, you got the form here. Okay, now h3 add user. Okay, and then hr. Let's see now. Now this is actually the user add form, and I want to use card M2. No, P2. No, this is just a padding kind of. Yeah, P5. Okay, now it looks good, bit better than. So here the submit button. I think I can use a bootstrap btn primary. This will just give some color to it. Now I can also use P2 here, so that there will be some space between say M2. Yes, now you see there is a space between. So this is, see, now let me show you. If I remove this, can I use a container here? Container, because it's too. Okay, it's not, doesn't matter. I think I should use width, I guess. If I use width maybe 50 width, right? Yeah, this a bit looks a bit decent, I guess, but doesn't matter, like, we don't need to this. I'm not interested in this decorations that you can do, because there's an unending thing, like it just keeps going on and on and on. So now this is the form. This form we are going to use this to add there is DOB and password, and even I can also show you how to remove this asterisk, that star adjacent to the label of each input field, but that's extra, like, maybe if I have. So that's all. This is the form. So now when we input the data, then we need to, okay, let me also take care of the show, and then I'll show you how to add even if I add a user, I don't have logic to show those users in my web application, right? So what I do, I finish the rest of so whenever I add a user, that my strategy is going to be like this. Whenever I add a user, that user is just going to come back to this URL pattern called show. That is altogether another. So this is a home button, and this is add user. This page is for adding users, and this page is to see the users. Okay, now I'll go to the views, and here I think I don't have the show. Okay, right. Okay, def show, and then request. Okay, now here what am I going to do? I just want to show so to show, I need to retrieve the data from the database, right? Users is equal to user objects all. Okay, Now what I need to do is that return render request. I'll just copy this because I do a hell lot of spelling mistakes. I'll copy until here. So in order to prevent myself from doing show HTML, and here is going to be users. Okay, users. That is what is the object we want to pass. Okay, now we don't have the show here, right? So I'll create one called show.html, and this is just going to be like home. Okay, see, show, and here what I need to do, I just have to iterate the users. Okay, so for that I use Ginger logic. Okay, for user in users, that is the object which is coming from the view. Users, first I put user, and then let me see if once data is coming here, then end for. Okay, first I want to print the user, then after I would like to iterate through different fields of the user. Okay, first let me see if the user is coming or not. Now I'll close server, stop the server and run 1 second because there's significant changes in the code. Now when I just show here, show is not coming because URLs. So we have to update the show. I think I have to stop here because time is running up. Show, and what it is going to show, that is very good. Use show, name show is not able to show, is it? We don't have show is there. Oh, I didn't say. Okay, now what is this going to show? So show is going to show the user. Okay, fine. It's not coming, show is not coming. I think in base, yeah, I have to come here and URL pattern, URL show, and go to the show. Yeah, I think logic is okay. Show, yeah, show, nothing is there. So come to the add, and here I'm going to add my, I just put one this is going to be called, right? Yeah, H3 list of users. That's sufficient. And then I put HR. Now I want to, so now I'm going to register MK123, just some dummy. My date of birth, by the way, you had to give the month first, day, and then year. So that's how it's going to work. Now show, you see data is coming. So let's go back to the views, and now everything is working fine. Now what we need to do is that we need to do some little rendering. How am I going to render that data into the show is going to be the point for discussion. Now what I want to do, one more thing I want to do is yeah, you see here, after I'll keep ms, okay, ms 123, and date is going to be 5 month first, and then day, and then year. Okay, this still okay shows the data. That is why I was trying to keep this line here. So if I keep that line there, after form save, so if I use this line, what is going to happen is, now let me add one more time. See, okay, I'll show you once again. MYA 123, and then 29, no, 9 29 2006. You see, now it gets blank. All the fields will become empty. So that is because of this. This single line does that work. Okay, now go to show. You got MKMS and all everything. That's fine. Now we need to take care of that decoration in show, inside show. How are we going to do that? Here what I do is that I'll create a table. Okay, and that table is going to be, if there is user, table, hover. These are actually the bootstrap. Now t head, in t head, th name, and I just copy this a couple of times. There is password, there is date of birth, and one more blank. This blank, I'll tell you what I'm going to do that. Here it is going to be password, and this is going to be date of birth, DOB. Okay, and then actions, something like that. Now t body. So here I need to use this for user in this I need to bring here. Okay, make a row tr. Okay, if there is user, make a row td, and then user name, and sorry, c password, date of birth. Okay, name, password, DOB, and then I want to create two buttons here, and those buttons are going to be like this. Button, it's not a button actually, I want to keep a tag, and this is going to be approve. Okay, approve, and one more button for update, and one more button delete. Okay, these are three buttons. I'll just tell you what I am doing, don't be confused. And we need to end this after tr and end for. Okay, this is my basic view. Now at this point in time, if I end for expected end block. Okay, there is two end fors over there. Oh my god. It's okay, fine. This is because actions all approves and all. Okay, one more thing is, one problem is I have to use, should be inside TD, right? All these links must be inside TD. And one more thing is these things should be in, I forgot the ginger logic. Okay, should be two floor or curly braces. Okay, now yes, this is the basic view. Now I need to work on this buttons. I'll convert these links as buttons, and this button I have to add some logic to each of these buttons. That I'll do in my continuing video. Okay, this is for today. I mean for now, and in my subsequent video I'm going to show you how to add logic or implementation, how to implement these buttons with the help of logic. That we need to do through by writing the logic for all these views. Okay, we got the for this I'm going to take button through this. I'm going to implement this button. This should be something else. Should be okay. So for this, for approve, I'm going to use this view, authenticate, and for update, I'm going to use this view, and for delete, I'm going to use this view. So I just have to define the logic under each view in order to add implementation to these buttons. So that I will try to talk in my subsequent video. This is for, thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for the new content. Please subscribe to my video channel and please thumbs up. Press the like button. Thank you.